let's start here. Let's go to these images first. I'm gonna have to make my screen bigger, and we're gonna go into these. So these are some of the remaining images. Most of the images were whitewashed around 1453, when Romans, which are Edomites, began to seize power in Europe, and they whitewashed most of the images. But there were hundreds of thousands of dark images, verifying the rulership or showing evidence that the Israelites ruled Europe for 1,000 years. So these are the prophets. As you can see, all dark-skinned men in the ancient world. The entire geographical complexion of the earth was totally different. Most people during that time were what you would call dark-skinned people today. So these are the prophets holding the biblical scrolls. Let's continue. Here's more images from the Dark Ages, and this term was established by Edomites, calling this period the Dark Ages, when they, the Edomites, were in servitude, servant at the bottom. Ecclesiastes 1 and 9 tells us, what has been will be again, and there is nothing new under the sun. So they're going to go back into bondage and captivity. And we're going to show you that. It's even in the images here in the Voronet. So there's more images of the prophets, 12 disciples. And our ancestors, of course, knew these things. So these images are absolutely amazing. I mean, absolutely amazing. And if a lot of these images today, if you were to visit Eastern Europe, have been whited out or bleached, what they would do is they would take and bleach the faces out of these images. And many of these prophets had afros. So they would color in a gold circle around their heads to hide the afros. And then they would whitewash the images out. So that's a very common practice that they would do. Now we're going to transition to the main image. Let me zoom back out. And this is the main image here in the Voronet, which shows dark-skinned angels with spears. And some of them, they would look at these and refer to them as swords. And if you look carefully at the top, where my cursor is circling around, let me back this up so you can see it. There's a dark-skinned hand with a scale in his hand, and he's passing down judgment. So I'm going to back this up so you can see this. This is absolutely incredible. Dark-skinned angels that are putting Edomites in captivity. And this image is in Europe, Eastern Europe. Now look where my cursor is circling around. That's a big dark-skinned hand with a scale, where judgment is being given unto the saints. So matter of fact, let's get that. Let's go to Daniel 7. And I think it's 18. One moment. Right here. Daniel 7.
Look, so you can see over there.
But the judgment shall sit, and they shall take away its dominion to consume and to destroy it unto the end. And the kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominions shall serve and obey him. So according to the scriptures, Psalms 148 and 14, the saints are the Hebrew Israelites. So let's go into some more scripture. We're going to go to Daniel 10 and 5. You'll notice the big dark-skinned hand passing down judgment with the scale in his hand. So judgment is going to be given in favor to the saints. Let's go to Daniel 10 and 5. Then I lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a certain man, clothed in linen, whose loins were girded with the gold of Uphaz. Verse 10. His body also was like the beryl, and his face as the appearance of lightning, and his eyes as lamps of fire, and his arms and his feet like in color to polished brass. So if you look at polished brass, it has a dark hue. When I visited Rome, and when I visited various other places in Europe, if you look at the statues that are outside, they are bronze or brass, which is a dark brown color. And that's brass in its natural state, a dark brown color to medium brown.